Hello, hello, everybody. Oops. Hi. Okay. Something went. Bloop. Um, Having lots of technical issues um, these days. That's for sure. Lots. I don't know if some of you are experiencing it. I have um, been supporting some of my clients, and we are having tech issues. So I'm not surprised that we're getting a couple of glitches here and there, but welcome to this incredible training. I'm very excited to share this with you. A personalized path to clear writing success. So what does that mean? Hello, and welcome. Um, what is that? What do I mean by a clear path, right, to writing success? And the truth is, the clear path is clarity. So before we get into anything and we go any further, hello everybody. I'm Sandra Rodriguez Bicknell. I'm a best-selling author and book coach. If you're here on my page or here on my Facebook group, you already know that. But I am curious to ask, and I'm saying hello to people. If you look at me and see me back and forth, is Instagram, Facebook. I want to say hello to everybody who is chiming in and joining me. I want to ask you about what brought you to the group, what brought you to this live, why are you here? And if you have any comments or want to share, please go ahead. And what in your story, what are you wanting to write, right? Where are you in your writing journey? I'm curious to know all of that because I want to support you further and help you on your writing journey, sharing my experience as much as I can to get you excited and interested in taking that step into sharing your story in whichever platform you want, whether it's in a book or in a blog or just on Instagram. The way you articulate your message is very important, and I want to support you in that. So, in our last training, I spoke about choosing the story, right? The story that you want to tell. In this training, we're going to talk about really the pillars. How are you getting clarity? How are you finding that clarity in order to uncover the secret recipe for writing a successful book? Right, so let's dive in. I'm super excited because yesterday was a really big example of what I'm going to share with you. It's something simple, but it's still a clear example. Having clarity is a key ingredient in unlocking your story. There is no two ways about it. A lot of people want to start writing their books but get stuck, right? Oh yes, I have this intention, or I have this idea, or I have this experience that I've been through. But what exactly are you going to tell? How are you going to start? How are you going to eliminate your fears, your insecurities? How are you going to get past that so that you could actually write the book, right? And the number one or the best way to do that is to find the clarity, right? And so I have a great analogy. Something that I used yesterday was that I was cooking, and this is, we're talking about recipes, right? All the components that come together. And we think that, it's easy. I was going to make a dish, right? Peaches and burrata salad. I had this in LA and I loved it and I wanted to replicate it. Seems simple, right? Just 2 ingredients. Those are the ones I remember, and it was delicious. But it wasn't that easy when I wanted to execute it. All I knew is that I wanted to taste this. I wanted to have this experience once again, right? I wanted to eat this yummy salad while I was in LA. And as simple as it seemed, it definitely wasn't just peaches and burrata. It was a little disappointing because I thought I had everything. I had the cheese and I had the peaches, right? But I did not have all I needed to execute the salad that I wanted to have, to assemble it in the way that I wanted so that it would taste the way I wanted, right? So I looked up the instructions. I looked up for a recipe, and I followed the recipe and the method. and the salad came out exactly how I wanted it. It was absolutely perfect. It was delicious, it was fantastic, but it wasn't what I thought when I first started, right? And for you, as an example, is you might have read a book that you thought, wow, wow, that is exactly how I want to tell your story. This is how I want to tell my story. That's what you're thinking. You're feeling this resonance with the book, and you're excited about it, and you want to tell your story in this manner, right? And so that's why I'm here to help you with that. I want to give you a little insight into my method, right? The method to optimal clarity to help you uncover your story. And when you have clarity, your writing journey becomes much easier. You have flow. And everything you want to share, especially your intention, will flow just as you want it. So during this training, you'll gain insight into a personalized strategy, a shift in your perspective, and you'll discover a mindfulness practice, right? So this personalized strategy will provide you with the tools, insight that you need to create a successful book while maintaining clarity and direction. Yes, direction. We want to maintain the momentum without all of the fluff, without all of the other things that get in the way, that distract us, that discourage us, that confuse us, right? So the first thing we are thinking of is who. Who do you want to inspire? Who do you want to write this book for, right? Who do you want to tell the story to? You've had this desire, and again, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and it's not only about writing a book, but it's about telling your story. It's about going through the experience and getting some transformation, some healing, some insight within your own life and in your own journey, right? So we really want to get clear with who, and usually that who is you maybe some years ago. And this is why you've learned the things you've learned. This is why you went on your learning journey, and you picked up these tools, and those are the things that helped you, right? And so you want to pass that along, right? What is it that you want them to know? What is it that you want your reader to know? What advice would you like to share with them? What advice do you wish that someone had given you when you were in that position? Or someone that's been in that position, or you have a loved one that experienced this and it inspired you to learn. What advice would you like to give that person or your younger self, right? And how do you want them to be different? If you could draw a clear line from A to Z, a clear line from beginning to end, and it doesn't mean the end all the way till you've die or you've already accomplished it. No, from the beginning of your curiosity, the beginning of the pain, the beginning of this journey of yours to the other side, right? How would you want them to be different? How would you want the person who's reading your book or reading your legacy and what you're leaving behind, how do you want them to be different? Right? Because you want to avoid all of the ups and downs and the zigzags and all the things that you had to go through to get to the other side. Hello, everybody, again. Hi, Terry. And so those are the main strategies. Those are the main things, the main components that you want to think of is who is it that you're speaking to, right? And identify that person. Get clear, right? Only that can help you start that conversation with the person you want to serve. And what is it that you want them to know? Write these things down. Exactly what I'm saying. Write these things down. If you don't have a pen and paper, come watch the replay. But simple. Who? What do you want them to know? What advice would you give them? All in simple. Don't write a whole bunch of sentences. Just if you could write it in 1 or 2 sentences, that is absolutely perfect. Go ahead and do that. And then, how do you want them to be different? What is your wish for them? This is the foundation, the foundation before you start writing, before digging into your journey, before digging into the pain, before digging into your experiences. This is what you want to really, really, really get clear on. And then a shift in perspective. As you grasp this power of writing with a clear plan, think about your perspective. What are you thinking about? Now, a lot of times people think, okay, I'm thinking about my story, I'm thinking about my journey, I'm thinking about my pain, right? But it's not about you, right? Writing a book is service, and it's about the person that you're writing the book to. So it's about your reader, right? So shift that perspective. Shift that perspective, and remember, you are an expert. You went through it. You're here now because you have the experience. And when I say expert, I'm not saying, you're a scholar or you've gone to university or you've done the program. You're an expert because you've lived this experience. So keep that in mind when you're speaking to your ideal reader, when you're speaking to those who you want to create an impact and bring inspiration to, right? So remember, you're an expert, and remember that you went through this and you want to demonstrate how. What you did, what you learned, what made the biggest difference in your life, and how you want to make an impact. So think about that. Think about the perspective. Super important. Think about your perspective. I can't say it enough. And if you want to, again, number 4, think about perspective. So we talked about who. Get clear. Who. Paint a picture. Super clear. 2 sentences. What you want for them. What you want them to know. And how you want them to be different. These 3 things will allow you to start writing with absolute flow. And then shift the perspective and remember, people do want to hear your story. People do need your message. People are waiting for you. You didn't live these experiences just so that you could move along. And I say this all the time. It's so that you could share them. So think about that. Think about those who you're meaning to serve. And then last but not least is, I want you to discover this mindfulness practice. This will cultivate more clarity, enabling you to tap deeper into your creativity. Okay, so here is a simple exercise that I want you to do. And if you're ready, I want you to think about this. Again, you could watch the replay or grab a pen and pencil, or you could remember this. If you can write a letter, right, to either your younger self, even if it's 5 years ago, the one that's far from who you are now, the one that didn't know, the one that wasn't on the journey that you're in right now, right? Or someone that you want to create an inspiration for, right? And you want to write them a letter. What would you say? Okay, so my advice, and this is the training that I give my authors, is we take an hour. Take an hour to just stop what you're doing. It's just 1 hour. 1 hour away from TV, 1 hour away from, worrying, 1 hour away from all the things that we spend time doing, and a lot of times it's spinning. And write a letter and drop in to those memories, to your desires and your intention, right? They live inside of you. Right? All of this lives inside of you. You don't need to do research. You don't have to go through an old journal. You don't have to do anything but just tap into your heart, into your intention, and also go over the things that we discussed in the beginning, is who, right? And tap into that. And then I want you to write a list without giving it so much thought, without getting stuck. Allow it to flow. 1 single word, maybe a sentence, and write a list of maybe 10, 15 words that will trigger your memory, that will help you think about all the things that you want to say, all the advice you'd like to give. the tools that you've used, right? So 10 to 15 words or sentences that will help trigger your memory. Write them down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, all the way to 15. Number them and just write. Again, try not to give it so much thought. Try not to overthink it. And then start. Start with, my dear reader, and write this letter. Remember, you're using this list only to trigger your memory, only to keep you on track, and only use those words. Don't use anything else. When you write these 10 to 15 words, these things that you want to say, the advice you want to give, hi Astrid, and the tools that you used that helped you, right? You have the list. Use that to help you stay focused on this letter that you want to write, right? And take your time and check off all of these items that came to you in this 1 hour exercise. With this alone, you can start writing a book that will make an impact, because you will have the foundation. You will have the most important components that you need to start writing a book or a manuscript or a journal entry or the beginning of something that will make a difference. But you'll use your writing, you'll use your creativity, you'll use your heart, and you'll use your intention. So if you don't have a pen and paper now, and if you're not ready for this, watch the recording, take these steps, and see how this clarity will help inspire you to take those first steps in writing a book that will help so many. I hope this training has helped you. I hope this inspired you. I hope this gave you some clarity. And I hope that you come back next week, Wednesday, or join my Facebook group. If you're not in here, if you're here and you're not in the Facebook group, come join the Facebook group, where we'll be sharing, where there will be a community that will support you on your journey. You'll get to chime in. Those of you who are here on the Facebook group and are not chiming in or not asking questions, come along, come join me so that you can actually get excited about telling your story. Start writing, start practicing, start getting inspired about writing your book. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you for being here. Once again, my beautiful Facebook community, my lovely friends here at Instagram. I love you, and I thank you for always being here, always supporting me, and being part of this journey that I'm on. All righty. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.